On this episode of the podcast, we are going to talk NFL news, specifically the AFC West and the AFC North. Of course, we're also going to dive into the trade that went down with Deshaun Watson being traded to the Cleveland Browns. What does that trade say about the NFL?
The NFL's a loser here, and I say this not so much against Deshaun Watson. We'll see how his cases play out. But the NFL has a quarterback problem, in my opinion. And Deshaun Watson is a perfect example. Whether you believe he's done something wrong, whether you believe he's not done something wrong, it's clear he has 22 cases against him pending, current, now. Missed the season and was somehow able to miss a season and get paid as the highest paid player in the league. The NFL wants to have a certain perception, wants to have a certain image, right? And this is not the greatest look in the world, right? And I'm one of those people who say he is innocent until proven guilty. And obviously he can't be proven guilty in a criminal court because of charges. But at the same time, this looks really bad. You can miss a year because of charges against you and because, you don't want to play for the Texans. I get that. And then could become the highest paid player in the league by far. There's something wrong with that. Am I crazy, Lo? Like, am I missing something? Something has to be wrong with that.
You're tuned into the NuChannel Sports Podcast, the ultimate sports talk podcast.
What is good? This is a NuChannel Sports show. We're back. We're back doing what we do, back at it again. Before I get into where we are, where you can find us, across from me is my guy, the phenomenal person. He ain't the phenomenal one, so I'm gonna call him the phenomenal person, but we know him as Big Low. What's going down, Big Low?
Big Low coming down in H-Time.
Yes,
hey, Chris,
sir. Big Low coming down in H-Time. I love that, bro.
Doing great. I'm doing amazing.
Love that. Hey, most of y'all don't know, Low ain't from Houston, so it kind of hurts me when you do that, to be honest, but it's so good, you got to keep it.
I have to. I mean, if you want me to, I can do Dallas. It's Big Low coming down in D-Time. Actually, I was raised in Arlington as well, so I can be, Arlington or Ag Town, as we like to say. Or, it's
we're not interested in that, sir. We want to hear the H-Town being represented, or wherever people are listening. We want to represent y'all as well. You could catch the NuChannel Sports Show wherever you listen to any of your podcasts, Podbean, Stitcher, Apple, wherever you listen, whenever you listen, we are there. Check out our website, NuChannelSports.net. That's spelled NuChannelSports.net. Also, you can check us out on the Leads Podcast Network. Shout out to the Lead and Daniel, those boys holding it down. Check out the Leads Podcast Network. You can check that out on theleadsm.com. Also, you can check us our lovely faces on Afro Vibes TV. Afro Vibes holding it down. You can download the Afro Vibes app on your Roku or on your Amazon Fire Stick. I'm ready to get going. I know Lowe's ready to get going. Let's get into our favorite segment of the show, and that is your headline.
And now, here's your headlines.
So you should know by now what this episode is going to be about. So we'll get to the main stuff later on, but I want to focus the first headlines on some things that you probably didn't know about or you're just learning about. Headline number 1, Juju Smith signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Lo, are you excited that Juju and Mahomes' brother are going to be doing TikToks in the middle of the field all year long, bro?
Oh, man. The Kansas City Chiefs are going to be a whole cluster. They couldn't contain Pat Mahomes' brother. What are you going to do with Juju Smith-Schuster? That man can't stay out standing on people's middle of the field, dancing and gyrating all over their logos. Pat Mahomes' brother couldn't do the same thing. It's going to be a whole cluster. But what I have to say is I am actually very happy about the signing. The Chiefs had issues with outside receivers outside of Tyreek Hill and Kelsey, right? So Juju is not a number one receiver, until he proves it to be. He'll be a great number 2. You've got the best quarterback in the league in Pat Mahomes. I think it's going to be an amazing season for Juju, statistically. and 4, the Kansas City Chiefs.
I'm with you, bro. I'm with you 100% on that. Love the signing. He's definitely not a number 1, but as a number 2, number 3, even sometimes a number 4 option on the team, Juju will be very good in that situation. Headline number 2, the NCAA tournament has started, and we are excited for that. We normally don't cover the NCAA tournament too much, but we do know that for sure that, or at least the NCAA as a whole very much, but this is very big, and everyone's bracket has been busted. Why is everybody's bracket busted? Duke lost. It was not Duke. Kentucky lost in an upset to St. Petersburg. I'm going to be honest with you, Lo. I had no idea what St. Petersburg was. I still don't even know where St. Petersburg is. I just know that my bracket is busted and it's over for me. I'm going to ask you a question because it's probably the same for you. Is your bracket busted due to Kentucky getting upset in the first round?
Oh, man, mine is trash. Man, you had the number 15 seed upset with the number 2 seed, right? Yeah, that doesn't happen. And I think it's just a classic case of a team that underestimated, an opponent that came to win. And that's what they said, right? They said, we came to win. We did not come here to lose. So yeah, my bracket's in the trash right now. Matter of fact, man, I've already lit a fire. It's a dumpster fire right now, bro.
Yeah, I'm with you. Mine is done. I do want to ask you this. I think we probably are both going to choose the same team to win the national title. I have Gonzaga winning it. Finally, Mark Few gets that Mark Few and Gonzaga get that elusive national championship. They have some of the best players in the country. You think of Timmy and that cool beard. You got Chet Holmgren, who's likely going to be the number 1 pick in the NBA draft. I love Gonzaga. Lo, are you with me there? Or do you have a sleeper pick, maybe a Baylor or a Duke? Who you got?
Nah, listen. My bracket's already trash. Let me just go ahead and stay with the number 1 pick. Let's go ahead and stay with Gonzaga. I don't think there's no problem going find sleepers and black sheep and undercover gems and all this stuff. No, let's go ahead and do it. Let's keep it strong. 100. Gonzaga's gonna win it all.
Yeah, I'm with you there, man. But I will say this: watch out for Baylor. It's not really a sneak peek. Baylor's one of the top seeds, but they're very, very good team playing well at the right time. So I expect big things from Baylor as well. The final headline that we're going to do, and we're going to cover this more during the main show, is Davante Adams traded from the Green Bay Packers to the Raiders. We're not going to load someone eyes. We'll just cover the headlines now. Let's just talk about the trade itself. Were you surprised that the Packers moved on from Davante Adams?
I almost dropped my phone, and I just had my phone fixed. Okay, so when that headline,
that's no
just
good.
Had to fix. So I almost dropped my phone when I saw that headline come across my screen. I was very surprised. I think this is a great pickup for the Raiders. I think it's a huge loss for Green Bay. I don't know what the hell they were thinking, but I was shocked. Bro.
Yeah, I'm with you. I was very, very surprised by that. And it took me aback, to be perfectly honest with you, thinking, because I thought when they brought Aaron Rodgers back, there was a plan to keep Davante Adams, but it became clear once they franchised him. He was like, look, I'm not going to play under franchise tag. So the Raiders get a wonderful wide receiver, and we will happen to talk about that division later on in this show. But that concludes, and that was your headlines. Let's get to the meat of the show. You know exactly where we're going. The one we knew as Deshaun Watson has been traded from the Houston Texans and is now not an Atlanta Falcon, not a Carolina Panther, not a New Orleans Saint. He is a Cleveland Brown. I got to do this. Cleveland! This is for you. I'm stunned. Lo, just give me your thoughts. We're going to talk about the trade and all that, but just initial thoughts. Lo, what happened, bro?
This is another trade that almost had me drop my phone. I was like, what is going on in the NFL and free agency this year? I was very surprised. Listen, Baker Mayfield requested a trade. The Cleveland Browns, they said, hey, we're not going to grant him that request. I said, okay, well, you know what? And then headlines came out that the Cleveland Browns were out of the running for Deshaun Watson, right? So everybody knew that it was Atlanta as one of the favorites. Okay, you know what? I can see Deshaun Watson in black and red, right? I can see Deshaun Watson in black and gold over there in New Orleans. You know, I can see that. I was kind of leaning towards New Orleans. I thought, okay, New Orleans is going to pick him up. No, you see that blockbuster trade. You got 3 first-round draft picks. You have a couple of thirds. I think you even have another 4th in there somewhere. Right. And then, the Texans give, the Cleveland Browns a 4th round pick, if I'm not mistaken. So that was a huge trade. This Cleveland Browns team is going to be the Cleveland Browns team that we thought they should be with all the talent that they have. They play decent, good team defense. They just picked up Amari Cooper. You have Nick Chubb. You have a 2-headed running game, right? You have an amazing quarterback in Deshaun Watson. Oh, I cannot wait to see Deshaun Watson and my man, Amari Cooper. Shout out. I know the Dallas Cowboys didn't treat you well, man, but it is what it is. I got my own gripes right now. But right now, we're talking about the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. Congratulations to him. Massive $230 million contract that is guaranteed. All $230 million is guaranteed. Man, that's amazing. I think it's first 3 years, $184 million, that he gets fully guaranteed, if I'm not mistaken, man. This is amazing. I think this was great. In an already stacked AFC.
Yeah. So let's talk about numbers with this trade. So Deshaun Watson, just get ready for this. If you don't know, you may already know the number, but if you don't, just, if you're driving, make sure your seatbelt's on. If you're listening, you have something in your hand, make sure you're holding it well. Don't drop your phone, right? He's going to get $230 million, but that's not the kicker. The kicker is, how most NFL contracts are, big numbers, but the last couple of years are never really guaranteed, and it's all kind of a joke, right? The $230 million is guaranteed to get $230 million. And the biggest winner here is Deshaun Watson. Let's be very clear about that. We're going to talk about winners. We're going to talk about losers. The winner here is Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson somehow had a civil assault cases, 22 of them for sexual assault, right? I said civil assault. Sexual assault and civil cases. His criminal cases there is none. There never was one. He didn't get criminally charged. He somehow had 22 cases against him, missed a year of football, and then in doing so secured the richest deal in NFL history. This is not a statement about the cases. This is a statement about Deshaun Watson, his agent, and his team. What they were able to do after a dark cloud was over him to get a guarantee of $230 million is absolutely unbelievable. It's unbelievable. His agent should be hired by every top quarterback in the NFL. It's not just Deshaun Watson that's a big winner here. It's a Lamar Jackson. It's every single quarterback that makes money. Because when Aaron Rodgers got his deal, we were all excited. But even his deal is not completely guaranteed, right? Or even if it is, it's nowhere near the amount of money that Deshaun Watson got. Deshaun Watson is making over $200 million guaranteed after missing a year of football. That tells me, Lo, that the quarterback position is at the peak, right? They are going to pay the quarterbacks whatever the quarterbacks want to get paid. And at this point, it has potentially changed the market. So the question I have for you is twofold. One, who's your winner in this trade? And maybe Deshaun Watson as well. But the real question I want you to answer, because I think a lot of people are going to be talking about this, is the quarterback landscape in the NFL forever changed? Are all the great quarterbacks going to be demanding guaranteed deals now? I believe so. What are your thoughts?
Oh, most definitely. So to answer your first question, the Cleveland Browns are the winners here. They're the clear winners, right? Did they mortgage their future? Yes, but they only mortgaged first-round draft picks. You still have your seconds and some thirds and things like that. So they'll be fine. They're stacked with talent. I have to say winner B or 1B is Deshaun Watson. You're finally clear from a miserable situation with the Houston Texans. Think about it like this. Who after everything you said, Chris, right? 22 civil suits, okay? 22 sexual assault allegations. You miss a year of football. You have this negative outlook, and you're still going to have this negative outlook. Obviously, like, this is not going away. There's going to be a segment in the Cleveland population that are going to look at this as, why you're bringing this criminal here on our team, right? But you get a raise on top of that. Like, where else does that happen but the NFL, right? And this current landscape of the quarterback market in the NFL in this 2022 free agency market, and this is what's going on right now. I'm not a Cleveland Browns fan, but I like the moves that they've made. I think Cleveland saw that, hey, you know what the Cincinnati Bengals did by going to the Super Bowl. You know what? We can do it too. All we need is a quarterback. They made that move. They're in win now mode. That's why they're the winners to me right now.
Yeah, I love your take. The Browns are definitely the winners, right? So there are two winners. There's the Browns and Deshaun Watson. I love what you said about the draft picks, right? We don't just do a show. Like, when you're right, I'm agree with you, right? And when we disagree, we disagree. What you said about the draft picks was key to me, because they already have a talented team and they didn't give up second round picks, right? And I know they gave up 3 first round picks. If you have Deshaun Watson, they're going to be high anyway. So if you draft well in the second round, you should be okay. I thought the Texans came away looking really bad, right? So we talk about the winners. I want to focus on the losers here. And the losers here is very clear. It's the Texans. They didn't get as much draft capital as I thought they would get. Well, let me back up. They didn't get as much capital as I thought they would get. I thought they would get a player from the Browns that they wanted to use. They probably looked at the Browns roster and decided they didn't want certain players. They didn't end up getting a second round pick from what I have seen so far. They did get 3 ones, but I agree with you. In the first year, depending on how Deshaun Watson is suspended, it may still be a middle round pick, right? So what do the Texans actually get? Well, I should say the second year, because they're going to get the first round pick this year. But I just believe that the Texans come out losers, and you typically lose trades when you trade the best player, right? Deshaun Watson was the best player to trade. You traded him away. You lose the trade automatically. And I just didn't think they got enough back. But that's what the Texans have been doing for years. And that's what they've been doing. So it's no need to focus on that. But I want to focus on another loser here, and it is the NFL. The NFL is a loser here, and I say this not so much against Deshaun Watson. We'll see how his cases play out. But the NFL has a quarterback problem, in my opinion. And Deshaun Watson is a perfect example. Whether you believe he's done something wrong, whether you believe he's not done something wrong, it's clear he has 22 cases against him pending, current, now. Missed the season and was somehow able to miss a season and get paid as the highest paid player in the league. The NFL wants to have a certain perception, wants to have a certain image, right? And this is not the greatest look in the world, right? And I'm one of those people who say he is innocent until proven guilty. And obviously he can't be proven guilty in a criminal court because there are no criminal charges. But at the same time, this looks really bad. You can miss a year because of charges against you and because, you don't want to play for the Texans. I get that. And then become the highest paid player in the league by far. There's something wrong with that. Am I crazy, Lo? Like, am I missing something? Something has to be wrong with that.
No, you're not. But I think this is the NFL's way of trying, not to, create punishment when you haven't been lawfully, indicted or charged for anything, right? Like I mentioned, I think on Afro Vibe or so, there were a couple of cases where, Roger Goodell decided, hey, you know what? No criminal charges. I'm still going to, give you huge punishment. You know what I mean? After going through, certain litigation processes or after those didn't happen. So, we don't know what's going to happen. Again, he's already sat out the entire year, so again, can we argue? We can argue, okay, well, has he paid his dues? Like he could have played last year. He didn't. Now, did he want to play? That's arguable. I don't think he wanted to play for the Texans at all, so why not sit out? But he's already sat out a year, so what are we going to do here? With these cases not being shut, we don't know how long this process is going to take. It's not like all 22 suits are going to be solved and go to court at the same time, right? It's not going to happen. So this could be a years-long situation. I say years with an S, so this could be a long situation. So we have no idea what's going to happen here, So at this point, we're just going to have to, just move forward. Does it look good does it look good to the NFL? No, but I promise you this time next year, we're probably going to move ahead from this until we hear that, 6 of the lawsuits have been dismissed or 10 of them, have been agreed upon. So he's got to pay X amount of dollars or whatever. And who knows? All this money he's getting right now, he's probably going to have to pay all 22 of them chicks anyway. You know what I'm saying? So he needs plenty of money, sitting in the bank to make this thing happen just in case. Right. But let's talk about the quarterback landscape in the NFL.
Well, let me say this, though.
Sure.
And because I do want to talk about the landscape, particularly in the divisions. We don't want to come across as insensitive, right, to the 22 women who are accusing Deshaun Watson of a civil in the civil suits, and sort of what I'm want to come across as insensitive to them, and we'll see how that process plays out. Deshaun Watson has been very clear that he wants there to be if he does have a settlement agreement, he wants to be able to talk about it, right? He is normally the accused that wants a non-disclosure agreement, but he's saying in this situation, he wants to be able to talk about it because he believes he's innocent. Right or wrong, that's his feeling, and you can take that however you want to take it. I do agree with you from the standpoint of this is likely going to get settled. And the reason why I think this looks a little bad for the NFL is this. I don't think the Browns make that deal unless they get some assurance from the NFL that, hey, we're not going to suspend him for a year, right? I have to believe the Browns are smart enough to go to Roger Goodell and say, are we going to get him? Is he going to be suspended for the year? Because I don't know if they trade him if he's going to be out for 2 consecutive seasons. I believe there is a wink, wink, handshake kind of deal with the NFL saying we're going to suspend him the way we suspended Ezekiel Elliott, the way we suspended Ben Roethlisberger, and that's 6 games. They might throw it in the 7th game because of the volume of suits against Deshaun.
Right.
That I truly believe that the Browns wouldn't have made that trade unless they had some idea of what Roger Goodell was going to do. And I don't believe he's going to be suspended for a year, no matter, unless something really bad comes out on the civil side. I don't see it. I don't. And that it just smells a little bad. It's not even against Deshaun Watson. I'm talking about specifically for the NFL. It looks a little bad. And some people may say a lot of bad.
Yeah, I agree. It doesn't look good. This is not a good look for the NFL. I don't know if Roger would come out and say whether he will suspend him or not. I do agree that if he did say something, okay, they can eat 6 games and figure out, once he comes back, figure out a way for him to come, and I guess help him out the rest of the season. Hell, we might not see but a 2-game suspension, right? But just to play a little bit of devil's advocate, right? Let's say it's a situation where he's only suspended 2 games, right? I think that for so many people, it will cause so much of an uproar that he only got 2 games that you're better off not suspending him at all, right? Because at this point in time, again, he's already sat out a year. The story is not as hot as it was, although it's still a very big story, right? But if you come out and say, well, he sat out a year, but hey, Deshaun Watson, big, bold, black headlines, in 20-inch font says he's only been suspended 2 games.
No way.
Oh, now you're going to reheat the story. You see what I'm saying?
No way. I'm with you there. There is no way on God's green earth they're going to suspend him for 2 games. It's going to be more. Yeah. I'd be stunned if he was given 2 games. I think the minimum he's going to get is 6. If you ask me, the maximum would probably be about 8 to 10. But I don't see. I agree with you. If you suspend it for 2, you're better off not suspending him at all because it looks terrible if you only give him 2 games. It looks bad because the NFL has a precedent of suspending guys like Ben Roethlisberger, like Ezekiel Elliott, where criminally they weren't charged with anything, but based on the situation and the circumstance, the way they made the NFL look bad, the NFL protected the shield and they weren't suspended. But I do agree with you that that process will play itself out. But I want to get back to the footballs where you were headed as well. And I really want to get to that AFC North. In the AFC North, we now have Lamar Jackson, Joe Burrow, Deshaun Watson. We'll get to the AFC West because I think that division's even harder. But just what we've seen so far with those 4 teams, or those 3 teams we talked about, and the Steelers, who Mike Tomlin hasn't had a losing record in his entire career, being as a head coach of the Steelers. So you look at that division, you're like, bro, what is going? So let's say Deshaun Watson comes back. We're just talking about football here, right? So we're focused on football. We'll leave the suits aside for now. Not saying they're not important, not saying they're not there, but we're moving aside that to the side and just talking strictly football right now. From a football standpoint, bruh, this division is loaded, absolutely loaded. Yes. Sitting here today, Lo, I'm gonna let you go. Just give me your opinion, give me everything you got. Who do you have as the best team in the AFC North?
Oh, it's Cleveland. For me, it's Cleveland. I think you have the better all-around quarterback. Again, this is nothing against Joe Burrow, but for me, I tend to lean towards the veteran who's got, the background, who's, been argued as a top 5, top 3 quarterback. We've had these arguments about Deshaun Watson, right? Don't matter whether he sat out a year. He's going to come back strong. Cleveland's a better team, right? You got a team that likes to run the ball. You've got a great offensive line. You got so much talent on defense, okay? You can argue, okay, you're receiving issues, but guess what? You have now probably the best route runner in the league in Amari Cooper that you just picked up, okay?
Okay, that's a stretch, bro. That's a stretch. I know you love your Cowboys.
Listen. I'm saying it because I see, bro, go watch the highlights. However, all his peers, and I'm talking about the Tyreek Hills, I'm talking about they are saying the same thing, okay? Now, Tyreek might argue. He might argue, okay? But the dude's at least a top 2 or 3 route runner in the league, okay? And I think he's going to light it up. He's got a quarterback. I was like, yeah, okay, nothing's probably going to happen up there with Baker Mayfield. But, bro, you got Deshaun Watson, man. Great arm, get outside the pocket, throw them long balls. It's going to be amazing. I'm excited to see what's going to happen, man. But, again, let's go back to the running game of that offensive line. He's going to be protected. It's the best offensive line he's had, ever. He didn't have anything in Houston, all right? And they're going to be able to run the ball, my guy. Oh, man, it's over, man. It's clearly Cleveland in my book.
I love your point. I disagree with you how good Amari Cooper is. I don't know if he's that good. But I do agree if you're Amari Cooper, you probably get traded to the Browns and you're thinking to yourself, bro, I'm in Siberia. I'm going to have Baker Mayfield throw me the football. He couldn't get it to Jarvis Landry. He couldn't get it to Odell Beckham Jr. I'm screwed. And then this news drops that, oh, by the way, Deshaun Watson is going to be your quarterback. So I can see him yelling at his agent like, no, yes. That's what Amari Cooper's feeling right now. And the people who play the NBA 2K games know exactly where I got the no, yes from. Shout out to all my 2K players. But I agree with you, man. I agree with you 100%. The Browns are a team to reckon with. They were already good with Baker Mayfield. Baker Mayfield just simply wasn't good enough. Years ago on the NuChannel Sports podcast, years and years ago, it's been years now because we've been doing it for a little while. We had an episode talking about fan loyalty. And we went in talking about, are you going to be a fan? Are you going to be loyal to your team? Can you switch? And we had a big argument there. I know you remember that, Lo.
Oh, we do. We did.
I'm going to make a statement, right?
Okay.
Just on the football side of things, I'm no longer a Texans fan. I want to be very, very clear about this. I am changing my loyalty today. I'm moving on. I'm a Cleveland Brown fan through and through. Right. It's over. It's over. Like Kenneth Smith says, it's over. I am a Cleveland. I'm here for you, okay? I'm going to go get my Deshaun Watson jersey. I'm going to go get my Nick Chubb jersey. I'm not going to get a Amari Cooper jersey. It's too soon, right? It's too soon. Maybe a year from now.
That's fair. You should get it while the prices are cheap up there.
You are not lying about that.
I get you.
You are not lying about that. I agree with you that the Browns are the team to beat. It depends how long Deshaun Watson is not available and how that resolves itself on the civil side. But just sticking to the football, you're right. The running backs, they have it. They have the quarterback. They have a good enough wide receiver in Cooper. The defense is good enough. And they've got it all. I love their coach, Kevin Stefanski. I think he's going to have a lot of fun with Deshaun Watson. I love that team. Don't want to discount the Ravens, though. The Ravens were 8-3 and the number one team in the AFC prior to Lamar Jackson getting injured and all the wheels fell off of them. The Ravens are still a really, really good team. You have the Super Bowl champs in Joe Burrow, and you have the Steelers there. But man, I'm feeling it. I'm feeling what the Browns did with Deshaun Watson. I'm feeling it a lot. Very, very big trade. The last thing I want to cover with that trade, and then we can move on to some other NFL matters. Lo, I want to play a quick game with you, right? We didn't discuss this prior to. I just want to do a quick game with you, a little quick hits. I'm going to ask you some questions about the Browns and just give me your immediate thoughts. Lo, 3 years from now, so 3 years from the date of this trade, if Deshaun Watson is playing football and he plays for them for 3 years, do the Browns win a Super Bowl?
Damn, I knew you were going to ask me that in some way or fashion, and I had an answer, but I didn't know it was going to be that direct, right?
Yeah. Let me do better. Let's do 5 years. So the next 5 years. And it's it's a more even number. So you got more time.
3 to 5, whatever. I mean, I was still thinking the same thing. Are they, what, at this point, the Bengals made it last year. So who knows? Okay. So I'll say yes, just because I believe it's possible.
Yeah, I'm with you. And as a new Cleveland Brown fan, I'm hoping that we do make it.
Jesus Christ, Chris.
You see me saying we, right? It's a we thing now. It's us. We're in this together. And trust me, I'm not the only Texan fan making the jump. I promise you that. Second question, during that same time frame, is Kevin Stefanski still the head coach for the Cleveland Browns?
Oh yeah. Most definitely. I think they're going to make it's not going to be a big jump because they had a good year last year, right? But if you can, play better, win better games, win against better teams, make a deep run in the playoffs, I don't see why, he's not the head coach for the next 3 years. Now, if you're 8-8 after investing and losing all these, 8-9, okay, after losing all these draft picks and spending all this money on a quarterback, then yeah, you got you're 2 and done, my guy.
Yeah, I think it'll be close. This is the last one on this topic, and this one is kind of funny to me, but not really. Is there any chance that Odell Beckham Jr., after the sign of Deshaun Watson, comes back to Cleveland to be alongside Deshaun and Amari Cooper? I see you smiling there, bro. Is it possible?
Man, that's juicy. Oh, that's juicy, bro. It's tempting. And again, I want to think in Odell Beckham's, I'm trying to get in his mind, right? Remember when we were talking about where he's going to get traded or where his next team is going to be after he left Cleveland? And we said, okay, well, he ain't going to like the cold. He wants to go to a big city. The guy's a superstar. He wants to be among stars, right? He didn't want to be in Cleveland in the first place. He's already got a Super Bowl. He can be like, man, I'll go with somebody else. I'm gonna go to Kansas City, my guy. I'll go to Las Vegas.
Can't go to Kansas City though.
I know, but I'm gonna go to Las Vegas. You know what I'm saying? What's another? Where else can he go? I'm gonna go somewhere else. He ain't going back to Cleveland. So no, he ain't going back. Deshaun or not.
Yeah, no, I'm with you there, man. I agree with you. Let's move.
What about Tampa?
Bro.
Ooh, he might.
Okay, so I will tell you this: Tampa's a great option for him because Tom Brady has a way. But I will say this: Tampa did just sign, I believe it was Russell Gage, I think that's how you say his name, who played for the Falcons and torched them last season when they played in the regular season. And Tom Brady called him up personally and said, "We need you, bro." And I can see him doing that with Odell Beckham Jr. during the middle of the year. Let's say Odell comes back in November, still unsigned for whatever reason. I can see Tom calling him and making that happen. So that's not outside the realm of possibility, man.
Oh yeah, no, I completely agree. I'd personally like to see that. I think at this point in his career, Odell can take the Von Miller route where, hey, I'm just go, I'm keep my value high. I'm go and help these teams be an additional piece, to get a Super Bowl, man, and his career, with 2 or 3 Super Bowls or something like that, plenty of money in his pocket. So, that'll be very interesting.
Yeah, I'm with you all the way there. Let's get to some other NFL news. And normally we talk about the NBA in our podcast. Sometimes, typically we talk about the NBA, but this is an NFL show because there's nothing I can do because every single news that came out was based on the NFL. And I'm so excited. There's so much to cover. Let's get to the AFC West. We talked about it during headlines. Devontae Adams signed with the Raiders. So in that division, just help me out, bro. Who are we picking? Because I'll put it like this. In the AFC North, we just talked about, all 4 teams expect to make the Super Bowl. I mean, not the Super Bowl. Well, they wouldn't be surprised if they made it, but specifically, they expect to make the playoffs. In the AFC West, all 4 teams expect to make the playoffs, bro. Who is the best team in the AFC West today?
This is tough. Right now, this is tough. I don't know. Okay. Let me take a stab at it. I'm going to go ahead and keep Kansas City at number 1. Okay. Las Vegas at number 2. LA and then Denver. And the funny thing is, I'm looking at the division and I actually gave it to you how they stacked in their rankings at the end of the year. And I think this is exactly probably how it's going to stack out. Denver, I don't think has enough talent right now, although you have a much better quarterback than you did last year. You need some more pieces. LA, you still have a great young quarterback. They've picked up some pieces on defense. So I think that defense is going to be great, which you need because now somebody's got to stop all these dadgum quarterbacks, right? So I think that's going to help LA. But I still think between the way, Carr played last year, you almost got them to, the AFC Championship. You were close. it was from his arm, and a lot of people haven't been a big believer in him, right? So right now, I think I'm going to keep it how it's stacked right now. Kansas City, Las Vegas, LA Chargers, and Denver.
Yeah. I'm not mad at that. And I don't know where to start with this division, man. I think it's the greatest division potentially that we will ever see.
It's not fair.
It's not.
Like, it really isn't fair.
It's not. Because
and I feel
every
bad
week these two
Buffalo.
teams play each other. Like, you're going to see every quarterback 2 times, bro. Every
Facts.
single one.
Facts.
What do you do with that? I'm going to go ahead and stick with Kansas City, obviously, to come out of the division. But this is a clear case where if any of these teams miss the playoffs, they're going to be very upset. And there's no way all 4 of them are going to make it. So somebody at the end of the year is going to be very upset. I
mean, it's kind of like how we talked about. Okay, what happened with the NFC West is what's going on with the AFC West. I mean, what are you supposed to do? Somebody's got to lose. You know what I'm saying? Just like you said, they're going to play each other twice. I don't know how anybody's going to come out with a winning record. You might have 500s all across the board. Now, I don't know if that's mathematically possible. I don't know, but yeah, that might likely happen because you've got 4 great quarterbacks in one division. It's not fair. And I feel bad for Buffalo. I really do. Because I think they're capable of getting beat by any one of these teams too. I mean, I feel bad for Buffalo.
Why you feel bad for Buffalo? I feel good for Buffalo. They're not even in the division. Why do you feel bad for them?
I know, but if they somehow come across these guys, I mean, they might not be that 11-6 or 12-5 or whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, if they play these guys, they're in trouble.
Yeah. I should know this, but I don't know right now. I don't have it in front of me. Whatever division in the NFC that is playing that division, the AFC West, I feel bad for them. Man. I really, really do. That division is loaded to the T's, to the nines. Everybody expects to make the playoffs. And in fact, you can argue that everybody expects to win the Super Bowl. That should tell you how competitive it is going to be, because no one would be surprised. Maybe not the Raiders, right? But for all the other teams, no one would be surprised if the Broncos won the Super Bowl, if the Chargers win the Super Bowl, or if the Chiefs win the Super Bowl. Now, certainly, you know how I feel about the Broncos. I think they're a little overrated, so I would be surprised with that. But I'm saying general consensus is that no one will be greatly surprised if they won the Super Bowl. And at this point, that division is just absolutely loaded. It's from what I expect to see, just great football all the way around. I think it's going to be an amazing, amazing season in that division. But I want to drill down on the best quarterback in the division. Outside of Patrick Mahomes, because I think we can all agree that he is the number 1 quarterback in that division, how do you have them lined up 2 through 4? I'll give you mine first, because I think we're going to disagree. I have Justin Herbert, number 2, Russell Wilson, number 3, Carr, number 4. Do you see it the same way I do, or do you think I'm crazy?
I knew you were going to do that, because I think you and I kind of disagree.
Why are you saying like that? Like I'm some type of pest, bro?
No, it's not. I knew that's how you're gonna. I just knew. I knew Russell Wilson wasn't going to be anywhere near the top, and I can't lie to maybe lean in your favor, but I'm going to go Pat Mahomes. I will go Derek Carr. Because
Derek Carr, number 2?
I'm gonna go Derek Carr.
Tripping, bro.
Okay, I lied. I was kidding. I was kidding, guys. I was kidding.
You had me, man.
No. So I have Pat Mahomes. I have Russell Wilson. I've got what's the Chargers quarterback? What's
Justin Herbert.
Justin Herbert. Yeah, I can never say that man's name. And then Derek Carr last.
Yeah. So we have Justin Herbert and Russell Wilson flip-flopped in. Yeah. And I think that's fair. I don't think we need to waste a podcast talking about who's better. I will say this. I do like the Chargers more because I do like Justin Herbert more. And I love what the Chargers did, because every team in that division made a big splash, right? The Chiefs are the Chiefs, so there's no splash necessary. But they got Juju. For the Raiders, they got Devontae Adams, right? Big wide receiver for Carr to throw to. They play with each other at Fresno State. They're going to be absolutely amazing together. For the Chargers, they got Khalil Mack as a pass rusher coming in on the other end with Joey Bosa. And then obviously for the Broncos, they got Russell Wilson. So every team made a move this offseason that they're very proud of. And I want to ask you this, because you got to make a decision. At the end of the year, who's going to be holding the bag in this division? Who's going to be the team that's disappointed because their offseason signing did not make the difference?
Chris, it's Friday, man. You asking me all these hard-ass questions, man. Friday. I had a long day of work. I'm trying to wind down. Now I got to think. You know, what's going on here, man? You know what? I'm gonna lay up here, right? I'm just gonna toss one up here. I'm gonna go. Yeah, you ain't gonna like this, Chris. You ain't gonna like this. Las Vegas Raiders. Boom.
Wow.
I dropped my phone.
Las
Vegas Raiders. Yeah, bro.
Ooh,
yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That's tough.
Yeah, man, because you got to look at a team that played very, very well. Derek Carr, his play has only gotten better. And here's the thing. Now you've got the best receiver in the league on your team. I mean, what are you supposed to do, you know, at that point in time, right? Some of that stuff might be counteracted with Khalil Mack and some of that stuff. But, you know, we saw last year that Devontae Adams couldn't be covered with 3 people, you know, so what are you going to do? Nobody else picked up defensive, coverage, you know, players, you know, to help stop this guy. Yeah. Nobody's going to be able to stop this man, dude.
Yeah. All right. So let me understand this. So you're saying that you like the Devontae Adams move the least or the best? I'm a little confused.
Oh, I like it the best.
Okay, so you like it the best. All right, so you
like
took a cop out. You didn't want to say who's going to be left holding the bag. You just want to go with who was the best. I got you.
No. I said Las Vegas going to be left holding the bag. You talking about hoisting the championship, right?
No. Oh, you take it different. Okay, so you saying, okay. Yeah. So you think they're going to win the division?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, so we're talking about different things. I meant holding the bag looking silly, but I heard you saying they're going to get the bag. Okay, it's all good. It's all good. I just want to make sure the podcast listeners understand. So you're saying they're going to win the division. I thought we were both agreed that the Chiefs were going to win, but you're saying the Raiders are going to win. And I'm not mad at you. I'm really not mad at you because I don't think it's a bad pick right now. And I will say this, me and Lo reserve the right to change our picks based on the draft, based on whatever else happens in free agency. But it's so juicy, so important that we just wanted to talk about it right now. As far as my pick to win the division, you know I'm going to pick the Chiefs to win it. But I will say this, we disagree on what we see with the Raiders because, man, somebody has to be the last team in the division. And I'm just picking the Raiders just because I love the other 3 teams more. Or actually, no, I'm going to change my mind mid-sentence. I'm going to go with the Broncos. I'm going to go with the Broncos and Russell Wilson. They're going to finish 4th in this division because I can't discount the Devontae Adams pickup and that connection he already has with Carr. I can't discount that. I'm going to say the Broncos are going to end up as the worst team in that division, which may not be that ugly because how good we believe that division is going to be. Exactly. Yeah. Okay. That was a good show, bro. That was a real good show. Well, let's go ahead and wrap it up. I can't believe we did complete NFL in the middle of March Madness and while the NBA is ramping up for the playoffs. That tells me that the landscape in the NFL has completely changed. They have done what the NBA's done. Lo, we talk about this all the time. The NBA is full year, full cycle. The NFL's caught on to that and it's like, oh, okay, we can do the same thing. Yep. Shout out to the NFL for that. I will say that. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this podcast. We really do appreciate you. Wherever you are listening, whenever you are listening, thank you so much. Check us out on all of our platforms. First, check out our website, NuChannelSports.net. That's NuChannel spelled NuChannelSports.net. You can check us out on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. You can check out our podcast wherever you listen to them. Also, check us out on the Leeds Podcast Network. You can check us out there where we are holding it down. You can also check out the leadsm.com. They have articles, great written articles about the NFL, the WNBA, and also you can check out our beautiful faces on Afro Vibes TV. Check out Afro Vibes TV where you can catch us on there as well. Great entertainment, great sports. You can check them out on Instagram or you can download the app on your phone, on your tablet, or even on your television using your Roku or your Amazon Fire Stick. Lo, did I cover it all, sir?
You got it all. You haven't missed a beat, man. You did it.
Bet, bro. Well, thank y'all for listening. As I always end these shows, stay safe, y'all. Please stay safe. Peace.
Peace.
Thanks for listening to the NuChannel Sports Podcast. If you like the show, feel free to leave a comment and a 5-star rating. Your support is very much appreciated. Also, don't forget to subscribe on Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Podbean, or on our website, NuChannelSports.net. That's NuChannel spelt N-U, channelsports.net. Got a sports-related question for the crew? Just leave a voicemail on our website. Till next time, have a good one and stay safe out there.